Hi everyone, let's dive straight into today's new concept, PPC shifters, or in other words, factors that can cause the PPC to change position over time. Now remember, the PPC doesn't stay fixed forever. An economy's productive capacity can change due to a variety of reasons. Sometimes the curve can shift outwards, meaning the economy can produce more of both goods. This represents potential economic growth. Other times it can shift inwards, meaning the economy's ability to produce has declined. So, what causes these shifts? Let's go through all the main causes and also look at some real world examples, including those from the UK. The first broad category is changes in the quantity of resources or the quantity of factors. If an economy gains more factors of production, land, labor, capital, or enterprise, the PPC will shift outwards. For example, an increase in land could come from new discoveries such as offshore oil and gas exploration in the North Sea. An increase in labor could come from higher birth rates or immigration. In fact, the UK has seen its working population increase partly due to inward migration over the past 2 decades. An increase in capital, such as when a country invests in more machinery, infrastructure, or factories, can also expand production capacity. Similarly, a growth in the number of firms or enterprises, both domestic and foreign, can raise total outputs. All these lead to outward shifts of the PPC. Also, even if the quantity of resources remains the same, unchanged, improvements in their quality can also push the PPC outwards. For instance, better education and training improves labor productivity. Workers can produce more output per hour worked. The UK government's recent focus on apprenticeship and STEM education aims exactly at this, boosting workforce skills and innovation. Improved capital quality also matters. Replacing outdated machinery with energy efficient models or upgraded infrastructure, like better transport links, stable electricity supply, and faster communication networks, allows firms to produce more with the same amount of resources. For example, major UK infrastructure projects such as High Speed 2 and broadband expansion are designed to increase productivity across all sectors. The enterprise sector, the ability of entrepreneurs and managers also play a role. If businesses adopt better management techniques such as lean production, just-in-time inventory system, or data-driven logistics, they can reduce waste and downtime. This means greater efficiency and hence a rightward shift of the PPC. Countries like Japan, Germany, and increasingly the UK's manufacturing sector have benefited from adopting such process innovations. Perhaps the most powerful driver of an outward shift is technological advancement. When technology improves, productivity rises, meaning we can produce more output with the same inputs. For example, the adoption of artificial intelligence, robotics, and automation in manufacturing has transformed production globally. UK factories that once require 100 workers may now produce even more output with half that number, thanks to automation. The spread of digital technologies and 5G connectivity has improved communication, data transfer, and logistics, making production more efficient across almost every industry. All of these developments lead to an outward shift of the PPC, a sign of potential economic growth. But of course, not all shifts are positive. There can be some negative shocks every now and then. The PPC can shift inwards when an economy loses productive capacity. This can happen because of perhaps wars, which destroy factories and infrastructure, and natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunami, or tornado, which damage land and capital, or even pandemics, which reduces labor productivity. And as we have seen during COVID-19, when global production slowed dramatically. In all these cases, the PPC shifts leftwards, reflecting a fall in potential output. Now, one final detail, parallel shift or pivoted shift. Let's say there is an equal improvement in technology or productivity for both goods. For example, in wheat production and beans production. In this case, the entire PPC shifts outwards in a parallel fashion from PPC 1 to PPC 2. Notice that the opportunity cost of producing one good in terms of the other remains unchanged. However, if the improvement affects only one good, we are going to see a pivoted shift. For example, if technological progress only happens in wheat production, say through precision farming, drone-based soil monitoring, or automated irrigation, then the PPC is going to pivot outward from PPC A to PPC B around one axis, in this case, the y-axis. This means that the opportunity cost of producing wheat has fallen because we can now produce more wheat without having to sacrifice as many beans. So the slope of the PPC with respect to the x-axis, which represents wheat, becomes flatter, showing lower opportunity cost of producing wheat. To wrap up, outward shift of the PPC represents potential economic growth and is often caused by increases or improvements in land, labor, capital, enterprise, and technology. Inward shifts represents losses in productive capacity and is often caused by wars, disasters, and other destructive events. And depending on which resources or goods are affected, the PPC can shift in parallel or pivoted manner. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.